The Sri Lanka Freedom Party appoints core district leaders for all districts.
සමනායකත්වය කියන්නේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ දිස්ත්‍රික් කින නායකත්වයට අමතරව මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන මැතිතුමා පත්වීමක් වෙනවා වෙනත් දිස්ත්‍රික්කයක කණ්ඩායමකට.
Government decides to cut salaries of university non-academic staff engaged in the strike action. Members continue strike action. The Sri Lanka Army joins the Gammatha initiative. Herat grabs a test hat-trick against Australia. Visitors set a target of 413 in their second innings. The Olympic torch of hope concludes on a grand note.
President Maithripala Sirisena declared open the Minvisithuru 2016 exhibition of ornamental fish, aquatic plants and accessories today.
The exhibition is organised by the National Aquaculture Development Authority of Sri Lanka with the objective of increasing the export demand for ornamental fish and ornamental aquatic plants produced in Sri Lanka. The exhibition will be held from the 5th of August to the 7th of August at the Sri Lanka Exhibition and Convention Centre. The exhibition consists of 100 stalls and also features several programs aimed at individuals interested in the ornamental fish industry. The objectives of the exhibition include to raise awareness of the challenges faced by the local ornamental fish industry, uplift the industry to international standards, and gain foreign attraction for the industry. The President also presented awards to individuals who engaged in the ornamental fish industry. Subject Minister Mahinda Amravira and his deputy Dilip Vellaranchi were also present at the occasion. The President was also presented a special memento by the organisers.
Minister Lakshman Yapabewardena says that party secretaries have been given the power to take disciplinary actions against those who do not accept party leadership. The minister made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
The focus on the media briefing was the SLFP Central Committee decision made at a meeting held yesterday.
මෛත්‍රීපාල සිරිසේන ජනාධිපතිතුමා පක්ෂයේ සභා
President Maithripala Sirisena took a number of decisions as the leader of the party. One of them is to quickly commence organizational activities. Through a letter, he appointed core district leaders to carry out organizational activities from the 6th to the 31st of August. What this co-leadership means is that apart from the SLFP leadership in the district, the President has also appointed a separate district group to hold a party convention, which will take place on the 4th of September.
ඉදිරියේදී පක්ෂයේ සම්මේලනයක් පවත්වනවා සැප්තැම්බර් මාසේ 4 වෙනිදා. මේ පක්ෂය දෙකඩ නොවි මේ පක්ෂය එකට වැඩ කරන්න තවමත් ඉඩක් තියෙනවා.
Even now there is space for this party to work together without splitting apart. If there is anyone who does not accept the leadership of the SLFP, I believe it is a disciplinary issue and the party should take necessary steps. This is the reason that we came to a decision last night. The Central Working Committee vested the power of initiating disciplinary action with the General Secretary of the party. When a disciplinary inquiry is being conducted against a parliamentarian, it must be carried out methodically. It cannot be carried out in a manner in which it would be rejected at the Supreme Court. But while being a parliamentarian, he is a party organizer. He could even be a person who worked for the SLFP for a long time. He would have been dedicated. The President, as the leader of the party, has given these persons a number of chances and is acting with a great deal of patience. The Central Working Committee has reached a consensus. The General Secretary of the party has been given the power to take disciplinary action. The party membership of any individual of the party can be revoked without a disciplinary committee. It will happen systematically. More things will happen in the future.
The Central Working Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has decided to suspend the party membership of Putlam District MP Sanath Nishantha.
The Central Working Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party convened under the patronage of the chairman of the party, President Maithripala Sirisena, last evening. A group including Working Committee member MP Kumara Velgama, who represents the joint opposition, also attended the meeting. The meeting lasted for 3 hours.
The
Central Committee unanimously agreed that this was a cheap act. It was decided unanimously to take disciplinary action against them. The summoning letter was sent after they applied. Based on the party discipline, setting these letters on fire is a cheap act. The party membership of these individuals will be revoked. This was handed over to the disciplinary committee for a report to be compiled.
They tore the letter. It was stated that disciplinary action should be taken against them. Discussions were also held on the fate of their membership, but they said that it was not something that could be done at once. It was suggested that it could be done systematically. The Padayatra was not spoken of that much, but two people who came from the UNP spoke about it. They are useless people. They didn't receive a proper response from the gathering.
Like others, he does not rush into things. He is still trying to take the party forward without breaking it apart. It was decided that particular individuals will be removed. If the discipline is violated continuously, action must be taken. They did not say names of people. Good decisions were made on behalf of the party. Members of the joint opposition have also been given the opportunity to attend the 64th anniversary of the party if they want.
The General Secretary of the UPFA, Minister Mahinda Amaravira, stated that it was decided at the Central Committee meeting to not let the councillors of the Kurunegala district who burnt the summoning letters with regard to the local government elections contest in the elections under the SLFP. According to the General Secretary of the UPFA, they have also been removed from the party. Meanwhile, addressing an event in Colombo, the Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils, Faisal Mustafa, expressed these views.
We took certain decisions with regard to the discipline of the party. The Central Committee took a decision to suspend the membership of MP Nishanta based on disciplinary issues. It was decided to take necessary decisions at the necessary time.
The decision taken by the working committee are not spoken of. They are not decisions available to the whole country. We spoke of the convention. It was decided to initiate disciplinary action against those who violated the discipline of the party. That is normal.
President Maithripala Sirisena handed over the responsibilities of conducting the convention of the SLFP in a grand manner. President Maithripala Sirisena, the former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, attended this event.
Children love to play and dance in water. However, the children you are about to see do not have the luxury. For them, water is a scarce resource. For them, finding a drop of water to drink requires a great deal of effort.
We at News First saw their thirst, understood their yearning, and so through the Gum at the 100 Day initiative, we commenced yet another project today to ease their hardships.
The Gum at the 100 Day initiative. With the people, for the people.
Day 17. School children in Uthuchene Batiklo have been suffering for a number of years, not having a drop of water to drink. This building bears witness to the lack of facilities and the hardships these children endure in order to receive their education. As part of the Gum at the 100 Day initiative, the foundation was laid today to provide drinking water facilities to these children as well as to renovate the school building. Incidentally, this project has also received the support of the Sri Lanka Army. Army Commander Lieutenant General Krishantha De Silva extended the support of the Sri Lanka Army based on instructions issued by the Commander-in-Chief, President Maithripala Sirisena, who called on the tri-forces to seek and provide humanitarian assistance to causes that needed it urgently. The necessary arrangements have been made for the project to be implemented through the Security Forces Headquarters East. A large gathering including the channel head of Sirasa TV, Chandana Surya Bandara, Majors General Udayanta Vijayaratna and Darshana Hettiarachchi and Brigadier Atula Maru Singha were present at the opening ceremony of the project, which was held today.
When school commences, these children need to travel a long distance in search of water. Under the Gum at the 100 Day initiative, we are taking steps to provide these children with water. Not only that, we also promise them that we repair the roofs of the school buildings. We will finish this project very soon.
It is our hope that these students who attended school amidst numerous difficulties will be able to enjoy the luxury of having drinking water facilities when they return to school after the August holidays. Meanwhile, we have been able to complete another project that we commenced under the News First Gum at the 100 Day initiative. A signal lamp post is being erected in this fishing village in Chilau so that its fishermen who set out to sea at night can bring their boats to shore without smashing them against the rocks. These fishermen who stake their lives and battle with darkness and the deep blue sea in order to survive will be able to come back to shore safely from tomorrow with the guidance of this beacon of light erected as part of the Gammat the 100-day initiative.
The Newsfirst team visited this school and inquired into the problems faced by this school. We thank everyone who came forward and initiated this project with the help of the army.
We thank you for broadcasting the drinking water problem in our school to the country, and we thank those who came forward to help. We have got into the habit of looking at a problem and then directing that problem to politicians in search of a solution. But is there a heart out there that does not melt when you see the faces of these children? Only a stone heart would not melt. The army commander, after seeing the weakened faces of these children and the plight that these innocent villagers live in, came forward and told us that they are ready to help uplift the living conditions of these people. News First and Sirasa TV are ready to provide leadership for this project. We humbly request the people of this country to come and fulfill their civic duty. It is not that hard to help develop this nation.
Millions of people walked from Colombo to Kandy giving no regard to their hunger, the sun or rain. There would have easily been a gathering of over 20 million people at least. We all know the perils of reckless and negligent driving. Unfortunately, tonight we bring you a report on a tragic incident where an expectant mother paid the ultimate price for the reckless driving of a private bus driver.
However, Aishwarya, due to the valiant effort of doctors, the actions of one careless driver did not result in the loss of both lives. The victim's unborn child was brought into this world as his mother breathed her last.
The 25-year-old woman had been crushing cinnamon with her husband at their bivouac in Imadua. As she experienced sudden contractions last night, she was rushed to the Imadua hospital.
They did not accept her in Imaduva, therefore we rushed her to Mahamodara. The bus overtook her car. Her head was slightly exposed. The bus knocked on her head when it was overtaking us. I did not stop. I rushed to the hospital. The patients came in screaming. The admission was on that side. The OPD is on the other side. We rushed her to the OPD admission. We thought that she was about to deliver. We were not aware of the accident. We got to know of that later on.
The woman who had dreams of her first unborn child breathed her last while being taken to hospital.
She went into labor when we were working in Gaul. We moved her here because of the accident involving the bus which overtook a car. There was blood all over. I did not know what happened. She did not even speak. Her head was injured.
Due to the actions of one reckless bus driver who did not show any regard to road rules, the doctors were forced to take drastic measures to save the life of the victim's unborn child. Can this bus driver who kept his passengers hostage as he showed no regard to road rules ever compensate for the warmth of a mother that he robbed from this child?
Still on local news, United National Party MP Banduralal Bandarigoda broke into a poem in response to MP Geeta Kumarasinghe's statement on the number of persons that took part in the joint opposition march. He was attending a public meeting in Naguda Gaul.
Millions of people walked from Colombo to Kandy giving no regard to their hunger, the sun or rain. There would have easily been a gathering of over 20 million people at least. Some people saw this are now beginning to tremble like a serpent soaked in kerosene.
There is nothing to tremble about. This is the public mandate. You might consider these innocent people as mice, but what you saw was a sea of heads of over 10 million who are against the government.
ජනතාව මීයෝ වගේ. නමුත් ඒ ගැලුවේ කෝටියකට අධික මහා ජන ගංගාවක් ආණ්ඩු විරෝධී ජන ගංගා.
Population of Sri Lanka 20,277,597. Source Department of Census and Statistics 2012. The march was staged from Kandy to Colombo and not from Colombo to Kandy. I recall a poem when I heard about the statistics announced by Geeta.
කිරිසප්පයෝ අරන් මහා පාරට දාලා ඉරිකිත හිතෙන රංගනයක් පෙන්නාලා හරි මග කොහේ දැයි නොපෙනෙයි මත්තිලා වෙරි පිට කෝටි දෙකකට ගානක් හදලා.
You mix up numbers when you are intoxicated.
Former chairman of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, Chandra Jairatna, in an open letter to the civil society representatives of the Constitutional Council and to the Elections Commission, states that a compulsory psychometric test needs to be conducted for candidates contesting the position of President, Prime Minister and other similar positions.
In the letter, Chandra Jairatna writes that it is essential that the Constitutional Council and the Elections Commission examine and evaluate whether nominations acceptance criteria must include a compulsory assessment of the physical and mental health status of high post candidates and future aspirants contesting for elections as the President and the Prime Minister. The letter states that psychometric testing is believed to be the only accurate predictor of traits and responses of individuals. The letter adds that a fruitcake test has been used by the UK Independence Party to uncover unsuitable characters who might embarrass the party. Such tests were also used during the current US presidential race. According to experts, a psychometric test may provide additional insights about the sustainable leadership qualities of candidates. Such tests could demonstrate the integrity of candidates, highlight enlightened self-interest, the ability to see the bigger picture, and the ability to appreciate finer details.
The 8th Pediatric Congress of the Sri Lanka College of Pediatricians commenced in Colombo today.
Honorable Minister of Health, Nutrition.
The Congress this time around focused on disaster management of children's emergency pediatric care and new challenges in pediatric nursing. More than 200 nurses from all over the country participated in the event, in addition to 12 specialist consultants.
Now, if you go by the infant mortality rate, the global figure is something around 45,000 live births, and we are very much better. Our figure is something around 8.8. But, Madam President, if you consider the global best, today is Luxembourg, which is 1.9. Japan something around 3, and UK it's 3.5. But if you compare with America, which is 13.82, we are very much better. But what I am trying to highlight is we have a long way to go. We need to be the best. I don't usually believe going by MDGs, going by the other targets. I think we should go by the global best to be directed by us. And we should have our intentions to address all the issues so that we become the global best.
Although these disasters cannot be eliminated, the injuries and loss of life associated with them can be reduced. This highlights the importance of proper management and the utilization of resources to safeguard children during such a disaster. In a disaster situation, the role of the nursing officer has changed tremendously during the last decade. They now shoulder more responsibility in the care and management of all patients in both acute and chronic situations. They deliver an invaluable service for the well-being of all patients. The role in managing the pediatric population is extremely important.
The torch of hope, which travelled across the country to muster support for the Sri Lankan sportsmen and women taking part in the Rio Games, concluded this evening opposite the Ministry of Sports.
Organised by the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited and Newsfirst, the Torch of Hope was supported by the National Youth Services Council, Ministry of Sports and the Ministry of Education.
On the 14th of July, the Torch of Hope was ceremonially flagged off in Independence Square and today commenced its final leg towards the Ministry of Sports, following a colourful pageant at the National Youth Services Council premises in Maharagama. Chairman of the National Youth Services Council, Eranga Valiyange, as well as senior officials from the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited were present at the occasion. One of the sportsmen in the Sri Lankan contingent is a member of the National Youth Services Council Director Board. He is Niluka. He came up through badminton. He is competing in the Olympics. As the National Youth Services Council, we too have a right on this. The MTV MBC Media Network is always on the forefront. This time the National Youth Services Council was also invited. We too are an institution, standing up for what is worth. The convoy carrying the Torch of Hope passed through Nugegoda, Kirulapana and finally reached the Ministry of Sports. Crowds in their numbers gathered on either sides of the route to add their wishes to the Lankan team. This is a great thing for all members in the team.
This is a great thing for all members in the team. This is a great deed done by Sirisa while extending wishes to the team. We are thankful for Sirisa.
This is a great time to build talented sportsmen. The Torch of Hope rally concluded this evening after the wishes of the general public for the Sri Lankan sportsmen and women competing in the Olympics was officially handed over to the Ministry of Sports. On behalf of the Ministry of Sports, Secretary to the Ministry Dr. D.M.R. Disanayake accepted the Torch of Hope. We are involved in a mammoth task. The Gum at the 100 Days is not a simple task. While engaged in that initiative, we also carried the Torch of Hope across the country, considering it as a matter of national responsibility. The Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited and Newsfirst will never back down in such endeavours, no matter what obstacle or duty that arises. We will come forward to lend our hand. The Torch of Hope rally concluded this evening after the wishes of the general public for the Sri Lankan sportsmen and women competing in the Olympics was officially handed over to the Ministry of Sports. On behalf of the Ministry of Sports, Secretary to the Ministry Dr. D.M.R. Disanayake accepted the Torch of Hope. I call the 9 competitors the Navaratna. We have identified persons from various parts of the island. They are not mere rocks but are gemstones to us. They were polished and cleaned and we sent to Rio. We hope that their value will increase internationally after the Olympics.
Taking a look at one of our headline-making stories, the daily wages of the university non-academic staff who did not report to work since the start of the strike actions has been cut off. The University Grants Commission reached its decision today.
Deputy Chairman of the UGC, Professor P.S.M. Gunaratna, said that leave with no pay has been approved for those engaged in the strike action. Non-academic staff across several universities demonstrated today as well, and some even received the support of the students' councils of the universities.
Yesterday, the UGC issued notice for all those engaged in the strike action to report to work today. However, except for several newly recruited persons, many others had not reported to work. The University Grants Commission announced that it has decided to provide solutions to several demands made by the non-academic staff. It announced that the circular to add the Rs 2,500 allowance to the basic salary has been prepared and will be forwarded to Cabinet for approval next week. Chairman of the University Non-Academic Trade Union Joint Committee, Edward Malwattage, however, said that they would not support one-sided solutions and was defiant of continuing the strike action. A demonstration took place opposite the University Grants Commission against the decision reached by the UGC. The 7 demands that we made were discussed with the Minister and the University Grants Commission on a number of occasions. The government and Minister speaks of 6 demands, but these demands have not been met. We ask for one thing, but what the Minister speaks of is of another. There are animal farms in the university. We are voluntarily protecting them. What would happen if we decided to step away from these? They need to make a decision. What needs to be discussed is a solution and not a punishment. We do not accept the orders of the UGC chairman.
UGC සභාපතිවරයාගේ නියෝග අද පිළි අරගෙන නැහැ. නැති ඔක දේශපාලන හස්තයක්නේ.
There is a political force in action. They made 7 demands and we granted 6 of them. The president said that a solution for the final demand will be made through the budget. They want it immediately. How can we do that? Are you aware that a clerk in a university earns a monthly wage of 50,000 rupees? They are waiting for the budget and it is clear that there is a political force behind this. The joint opposition march commenced on the 28th and they commenced their strike action on the 27th.
They say that it will be included through the budget. Why can't they issue a letter citing that this will be provided through the budget? We will only stop after securing victory.
He is messing with the wrong people. How can he continue with the work by cutting 13,000 jobs? There is no need to portray a false sense of confidence. The University of Kelaniya was given a red light. Water and electricity was disrupted. If you are very harsh on us, we will return the favour.
We have reached a position where 2 universities will have to be closed down. Activities across all universities have been hampered. Educational and research activities are not taking place. I can openly state that the entire university system has been dismantled. We need towards the government to recommence operations at universities, and discussions need to be awarded to the struggle undertaken by the non-academic staff in the universities.
Educational activities have been hampered for over 10 days. Examinations have also been postponed. This affects the lives of the students. Officials are not being held accountable for this.
Issuing a statement today, the Workers' Struggle Centre noted that the government is preparing to unleash oppression and suppress the rights of the workers after disregarding the wage issue of the non-academic staff. Activities across many universities were disrupted today as well.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news. I'm Aisha Pinto.
I'm Jaturang Hapawarati. Take care and good night.